Hello, guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: Withdraw and redeploy Southern security personnel from the North now, Ohanaeze tells Buhari. But before we continue with details of the news and further analysis, we'd like to encourage you, if not subscribed to our channel, please do well to click on the subscribe button. And also, if you have not click on the notification bell, do same. Whenever you finish reading our news, please also like the news. Thank you very much as we go on with the news. Ohanaze Youth Council worldwide has called for the immediate withdrawal and redeployment of all Christians and Southerners in the military from the trouble zone. The group also asked the federal government to replace the Christian soldiers with all the suspected Boko's terrorists released and reabsorbed into the Nigerian Army under the watchful eyes of Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Buratai. According to OYC, such obnoxious policy is a threat to the life of Christians and Southerners in the army and place their lives at the mercy of alleged repentant Boko Haram suspects who might be fighting the Nigerian army from inside, as only Christians and Southerners will be eliminated in this rogue assignment. The statement, which was contained in press statement signed by the OYC President General Maazioke Chukwu Izugozuru, also noted that release and absorb of Boko Haram suspects into the Nigerian army is nothing but a security threat to Christian and Southerners in the military. Now let's look at their statement in full. And according to them, I quote, OIC is worried about the rationale behind the recent policy of releasing of Boko Haram suspects and reabsorb them into the Nigerian army. OIC queries, why will terrorists fighting against the Nigerian state with sophisticated weapons will be captured and released? Evidently, there are videos in circulation showing Boko Haram terrorists executing soldiers and civilians, mainly Christian, through a means and ruthless process, such as beheading the victims. We therefore call for the release of all fighting freedom fighters, prisoners of conscience currently in detention, without carrying arms against the state, as it is sheer injustice for terrorists executing soldiers and civilians will be released and reabsorbed into Nigerian army, while those in the self-determination struggle, especially the Biafran agitators, languish in most prison. OIC plead with President Muhammadu Buhari to stop Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Buhari from further recruitment of Boko Haram suspects into the Nigerian army, as it's a mockery on the fight against insecurity in the northeast to infuse a terrorist into the army, as the possibility that Boko Haram terrorists are gathering intelligence report by sponsoring some of their members into the army through this exercise, which is aimed at weakening the strength of the military while strengthening the base of Boko Haram insurgents. This madness must stop, or there should be mass withdrawal and redeployment of all Christian and Southerners in the army from the northeast to the south, and replace them only with the assumed repentant Boko Haram suspected to ensure to engage Boko Haram terrorists. All right, that's the news, and this is nothing but the truth. When you see the truth, there is no need playing hanky-panky with it. But before we go on to discussing this, we'd like to look at some of the statements of Nigerians. This one said, please, this withdrawal should be implemented immediately. There is a gang up to eliminate Christian and Southern soldiers. There is an underground plan for jihad in this wicked act. And this one said, this is well taken and most sensible strategy since we run a clannish government. Another person here says, who told you that your oppressor will be moved by your going cap in hand begging, which is exactly what they will want you to do, that they may clothe in your vulnerability and shame. You can only force your oppressor and manipulate him by taking drastic measure, or you forget it. That one is talking about taking drastic measure before we can get what we want. This one says Muslims apply devilish wisdom in whatever they do. Their soldiers are in South enjoying relative peace, raping women, aiding Boko Haram, and herdsmen killing our people, while our people are were pushed to the north to be wiped out by Boko Haram. Boko Haram in disguise as soldiers. They must relocate immediately. This one said, yes, you said the truth this time. Though the Igbos have shown some act of cowardice recently with the absence of IPOM member at his own father's burial, but I think I strongly recommend the OYC for this act of bravery. I agree with you on this. The life of our young Christian soldiers are currently at stake, with Bokos now rubbing shoulders with the soldiers. The federal government knows the fact that repentance and backsliding is a thing of the heart, a self-proclamation which is liable to change at a short interval. With the rehabilitated terrorists now in the military, will it now stop the killing of the rehabilitated family members abducted by the Bokos group? All right, and the last one I'm going to take here says you should back up your order to Buhari with a court action. Take him to the Supreme Court and ask him to point out the provision of the law allowing such brazen illegality. Those conscripted Boko Haram soldiers must be demobilized with immediate effect. They are Moors leading the southern soldiers to the knife slap in the Samisa forest. A lot to see. Nigerians are overly responding. For me, this is one of the greatest requests on the part of the Ohanaze Ndibo. But let the truth be told, we have seen cases of where people talk to them this way, or make requests like this to the presidents, and nothing is done about it. So ideally, if it means to, sue the federal government demanding that the southern soldiers should be withdrawn and brought back to the south, go ahead and do it, because they are better. We have said things better than this before, but nothing has been done about it.
When you ask them to sue the federal government to return back the southern soldiers, you're trying to say invariably that Nigeria is not one, because as much as I know, being that they are Nigerians, quote unquote, and they're fighting for Nigerian army,
Yeah.
you understand? So the army reserves the right to post them wherever they defeat.
They reserve the right, but this is going to be done based on condition, and the condition will be if you have released 1,400 Boko Haram repented, allegedly. They say they allege. That's people say they allege. Okay, we said Boko Haram repented.
Boko Haramist.
Terrorists, that they have released them, and you are reabsorbing them into the military. To do what?
I don't know.
When you know that these guys, as far as are going in there, and they hear that they are winning the war against Nigeria, do you think that they're going to sit there and be working for Nigeria? When you know that before these guys even will say, come into our camp and work for us, you must have taken some very strong,
looking at what you're saying, and judging the fact that the presidency just recently said that every bandit, every kidnapper, every terrorist caught should not be given the jungle justice. Rather, it should be handed over to the police for proper, arresting and whatever judgment they will pass on. But what would happen to the dead? Those bandits have killed. They are dead. There's no rearrest. There's no restoration. And these guys are saying eye for an eye, are saying, no, don't arrest anyone who have killed your people. Rather, they should be arrested and not be killed, or not be given capital punishment. And over time, we have realized that some of these guys, at the end of time, they usually come out of after arresting them. We don't get to hear what happens after the arrest. All we get to hear is, okay, they've been arrested and that's it. We don't even know if afterwards they'll be gently and quietly, Nicodemously be released, and we don't know the end result. We keep hearing that, Fulani herdsmen have committed this mayhem and all that. Rather than trying to cope them or take them back to where they belong, rather you say we should be at peace. Nigerians should learn to be at peace with their fellow neighbors, and at the end of the day, if they are found wanting, you should report them to the nearest police. That's why you see people trying to think of Amotekun. I am not saying it's wrong, okay? But what I'm saying is it's not right. It's not right for Nigeria, the number one citizen of Nigeria, to say that jungle justice should be made. What will happen to? I would have preferred a stiffer measure, like some states have started putting it this way: if you are caught if you are a kidnapper and you are caught, death by hanging. That way you discourage every form of kidnapping. If you are caught with any form of banditry, you have killed someone, and it's through terrorism, death should be the capital punishment, not arresting them. Then subsequently they become repentant, you release them again. As if they're playing on our intelligence. Yes, Ohanaze youth may be right on this one. But the truth is, this is Nigeria. I don't know if the presidency or the army will listen to them really, but looking at how Nigerian politics and the security issues are going on, Ohanaze is on point on this. Because if they're playing with their lives, then please, by all means, all southern soldiers, all southern military men, they should all return back to the south and let the Boko Haramis, who seem to know their terrain very well, since they have repented. That means they know their terrain, they know how they operate. Exactly. Since 1,400, you know how you people work. Come in. All you 1,400 plus one or two northern, soldiers should, go in now, and see how we can capture Boko Haram terrorists once and for all, rather than wasting the southern soldiers who don't even know the terrain. Who don't know the terrain so well, who also we need them down here to help us flush out all the Fulani herdsmen and all the whatever that's in the northwest and north central, southwest and the rest. So we don't waste soldiers, waste reasonable hands. Southern soldiers return back to the south, while the 1,400 Boko Haramis that have been released that are now repentant, along with some northern soldiers, should go together. Who knows their terrain? That's their hometown. So if they want to play politics on their hometown, that's their business, really. That's my opinion on this, though.
All right, thank you very much. And looking at this, that's the truth. So we want to leave it there. There are a lot of reactions coming in, but we just want to leave it there. Go to our comment section, let us interact. What's your position on this? Do you think that what Ohanaze have said